If this is all feeling really hard to navigate, then good. It should. The truth is, even that diagram is off because it still presents harm, pleasure, and consent as binaries, as existing or not. And we all exist in this messy reality in which we're grasping for pleasure and connection and trying to avoid harm and navigating incredibly contradictory impulses inside of us. So where do we go from here? What many brilliant thinkers about sex and consent and harm prevention have done is to expand the definition of consent to encompass attunement and informedness and power awareness and pleasure and collaboration and enthusiasm, as we've seen. But it hasn't worked. When we expand the definition of a concept, especially one as critical to our understanding of harm as consent, we are setting ourselves up for the exact kind of ignorant, accidental, but totally preventable harm that is still so pervasive. To assert that anything that didn't feel good or right, or even that everything that created hurt or harm in sex was a consent violation and therefore sexual assault or rape, which are crimes, is to perpetuate an unending cycle of harm and accusation and fear, and to dishonor survivors whose consent has truly been violated. Most importantly, it hasn't and it won't prevent harm. So what would a vision of ethical sex even look like? If everything in sex, as we've seen, is so murky and subjective and relational and contextual, is it possible to create a set of guidelines for engaging in sex while avoiding harm? The answer is yes. And this is what it could look like. Consensual, power-informed, trauma-aware, and attuned. Consensual, meaning that we are reasonably informed and willing and have expressed agreement either verbally or non-verbally. Power-informed, meaning that we are all aware of the power dynamics at play, the context, our physical size, gender, race, all of that, and that we are in connection with our integrity enough to honor that power differential, that reality, to act in right relationship with our power and accept more responsibility if we wield more power. Trauma-aware, meaning that we are conscious of our own triggers and the triggers of the other, and are able to recognize the common responses of freeze and fawn in ourselves and others, that we understand this part of the human experience. Finally, attuned, meaning that we are connected to our own bodies, that we can recognize when we're activated or frozen. We can recognize when we're pushing for an agenda or ignoring our own or others' boundaries, and that we are interested in the energy of the moment. If all of the sex we had was all of these things, would we erase sexual harm from the planet? No, of course not. There will always be murkiness, and there will always be true, extractive, awful harm. And there will be misunderstandings. But we could move forward with a standard that we can apply, not just after someone experiences harm, but preemptively, a set of skills, knowledge, and practices that anyone can learn, and that really, actually, truly will help us all to prevent and avoid harm. I believe that that's what we all want.